أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله أستعينه واستغفر ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد ومن يعصهما فإنه لا يضر إلا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي زدني علما سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم. My dear audiences, friends, brothers and sisters and well-wishers who are watching through Facebook, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is a very great pleasure for me to attend this Tafsirul Qur'an Mahfil, and at the very beginning I would like to express my deep gratitude to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us opportunity to attend this Tafsirul Qur'an Mahfil, and let us express our gratitude and say Alhamdulillah, all praises are for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the sustainer, who is the cherisher of everything, who is the creator of everything. Inshallah, in today's Tafsirul Qur'an Mahfil, we shall have a discussion on verse number 28 to 34 of Suratun Naba. Surah Naba. It is the first surah in part number 30. It is the surah number is 78. In today's Tafsirul Qur'an Mahfil, inshallah, we shall discuss ayat number 28 to 34. So as usual, at the very beginning, at first, we shall have recitation, then meaning, and inshallah, then we shall go to the elaborate discussion of these verses. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وكذبوا بآياتنا كذابا وكل شيء أحصيناه كتابا فذوقوا فلن نزيدكم إلا عذابا إن للمتقين مفازا حدائق وأعنابا وكواعب أترابا وكأسا دحاقا لا يسمعون فيها لغوا ولا كذابا جزاء من ربك عطاء حسابا صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك. I seek refuge, I seek shelter to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the accursed devil, from the accursed shaitan, and I am beginning in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is most merciful, who is most beneficial. وَكَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا كِذَّابًا, and they denied the verses, the revelation of my own. وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ أَحْصَيْنَاهُ كِتَابًا, and I have written everything in a book. فَذُوقُوا فَلَن نَّزِيدَكُمْ إِلَّا عَذَابًا, and today your punishment will be only increased and nothing shall be given to you. إِنَّ الْمُتَّقِينَ مَفَازًا, on the other hand, the righteous people, the believers, will achieve the greatest achievement. حَدَائِقَ وَأَعْنَابًا, they will remain in the garden of grapes. وَكَوَائِبَ أَتْرَابًا, and they shall get their companion of equal age. وَكَأْسًا دِحَاقًا, and they will be given cup full of drink. لا يسمعون فيها لغوا ولا كذابا, and in the heaven, in the Jannat, in the paradise, they will not hear anything, any unnecessary talks, any vanity talks. جزاء من ربك عطاء حسابا, and these will be the reward from their God because of their good deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said the truth, and his prophets and messengers have also said the truth, and we are among the witnesses. All praises are for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All praises are for Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the greatest. O Allah, bless our Prophet and your servant Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this was the recitation as well as meaning of verse number 28 to 36 of Suratun Naba. This surah was revealed during the prophetic life of our Prophet in Makkah. As we know that prophetic life of our beloved prophets is divided into two parts. In first 13 years of prophetic life in Makkah, and the rest of the 10 years was in Medina. So this surah, Suratun Naba, was revealed during our Prophet's prophetic life in Makkah. And as we know that the inhabitants of Makkah, inhabitants of Quraysh, they had been worshipping idols and images since long ago, since their fathers and forefathers. They themselves made idols and images, and they used to worship the idols and images. And as we know, in the Baitullah, house of our Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Kaaba Sharif, there were as many as 360 idols and images. So when the members of Quraysh, when the members of Arab were worshipping idols and images since long ago, since their fathers and forefathers, at that time, our beloved Prophet, from getting order from Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, started to invite people towards the Tawheed. What is Tawheed? Tawheed means Imanun bi ilahi wahid, Tawheed means oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bringing faith, keeping faith on only one creator, and he is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So while the members of Quraysh, the members of Arab had been worshipping idols and images, innumerous idols and images, countless idols and images, then our beloved Prophet invited them towards the shelter of Tawheed, towards the shelter of oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as we know that the members of Quraysh, members of non-believers, members of disbelievers denied to accept the invitation of Tawheed, invitation of oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And at that time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed this Suratun Naba upon our Prophet. And in verse number 29, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, verse number 28, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَكَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا كِذَّابًا, that you, the non-believers, are disbelieving, are treating the ayats, the verses which I have revealed upon my Prophet, you are treating the verses, the ayats, as false. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that you are treating my revelation as false. And you remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying the non-believers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning the non-believers, remember, وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ أَحْسَيْنَهُ كِتَابًا. You remember the non-believers, that you are treating my revelation as the false. You are denying to accept the invitation of Tawheed. O non-believers, you remember one thing, that your all the deeds, your all the activities are being recorded by me. Allahu Akbar. Being a Muslim, we must believe, we must keep belief, we shall have to have belief that our all the activities, our all the deeds are being recorded by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in support of this verse, we shall go in verse number 9 to 12 of Suratul Infitor. Suratul Infitor. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Kalla bal tukazzibuna bid-din wa inna alaykum lahafizin kiraman katibin ya'lamuna ma taf'alun. And we know the main contradiction in between the Muslims, in between the Mu'mins and the non-believers is that the faith of a Muslim is that the period of our life in here will come to an end one day. One day we shall meet death. And after our death, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will revive us in order to take account of our all the activities we are doing here. As we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent innumerous prophets and messengers in this world to preach the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And three things are common. All the prophets and messengers used to invite three things. All the prophets and messengers used to invite people towards the Tawheed. Tawheed, oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the prophets and messengers say to their communities that your creator, my creator is only one, and he is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So bring faith, keep faith on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means all the prophets and messengers invited their community, invited their people towards the Tawheed. And the second common thing among all the prophets and messengers is that Risala. All the prophets and messengers used to say that I am the prophet and I am the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Accept my invitation. And lastly, they invited, all the prophets and messengers invited people. Even our last prophet, our prophet, Hazrat Muhammad also invited people towards the Akhirah, the life of hereafter. Tawheed, Risalat and Akhirah. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in verse number 9 to 12, Kalla bal tukazzibuna biddin. O disbelievers, O non-believers, you are disbelieving the day of judgment. You remember, وَإِنَّ عَلَيْكُمْ لَحَافِظِينَ. Remember, O people, O the non-believer, O the disbelievers, remember, I have appointed guard upon you. وَإِنَّ عَلَيْكُمْ لَحَافِظِينَ. The guard, caretaker. O disbelievers, you are not accepting the invitation of my prophet, the invitation of Tawheed, invited by my prophet. You remember, I have appointed caretaker, I have appointed guard upon you. And who are they? Kiraman Katibin. And they are the honorable writers. Ya'lamuna ma taf'alun. They know everything what you are doing. So being a Muslim, being a Mu'min, we must believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has appointed 2 angels on each and every person. And they are writing our good deeds and misdeeds. The angel who is on our right side, he has been called Kiraman Katibin, honorable writer. And the angel of our right side used to write down our all good deeds. And the angel of our left side, he is also Kiraman Katibin, honorable writer. He used to write down our misdeeds. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning the non-believers that you are not accepting the invitation of Tawheed invited by my beloved prophet. You remember one thing, that 2 caretakers are writing down everything what you are doing. So this verse number 9 to 12 of Suratul Infitor is relevant in today's tafsir. And next relevant verse in today's tafsir is that verse number 7 to 8 of Suratul Zilzal. In verse number 7 to 8, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Suratul Zilzal, فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. O people, if you do a good things of atom's weight, or if you do a good things of as a sand, that will be brought to you, that will be showed you in the life of hereafter. And if you do an evil, atom's weight of evil, that will also be shown to you. That means being a Muslim, being a Mu'min, being a believer, we must believe that each and every deed of us are being recorded by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in the life of hereafter, these activities of us, these activities done by us, either it is of atom's weight or big, that will be brought by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the life of hereafter, and we shall see our activities, our deeds, what we are doing in the life of here. So these were the two verses of Suratun Zilzal. فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. Relevant in today's tafsir. And our next relevant verse in today's tafsir is verse number 16, Suratun Qaf. Verse number 16, Suratun Qaf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ وَنَعْلَمُ مَا تُوَسْوِسُ بِهِ نَفْسُهُ وَنَحْنُ أَقْرَبُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ حَبْلِ الْوَرِيدِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in verse number 16, Suratun Qaf. Suratun Qaf is the surah number 50 from the Holy Qur'an. I have, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ, I have created people. وَنَعْلَمُ مَا تُوَسْوِسُ بِهِ نَفْسُهُ, and I know what his soul whispered. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, I have created people and I know what is in his heart. وَنَحْنُ أَقْرَبُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ حَبْلِ الْوَرِيدِ, because I am closer, I am nearer to him than his jugular vein. As we know, in our neck there is a vein. It is so near to us. In the medical science, this vein is called as jugular vein. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, your jugular vein is so near to you, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is nearer, closer to you than this jugular vein. So being a Muslim, we must believe that our Creator, our only one Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who does not require any partner, who does not have any son, who does not have any daughter, who does not have any wife, who does not have any partner, he is sitting in his throne, in Arshe Azim. And from Arshe Azim, from his throne, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is regulating everything. We are being regulated by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sitting on his throne in Arshe Azim. So this was verse number 16 from Suratun Qaf that is relevant in today's tafsir. And as we know that the members of Quraysh, members of Arab, members of inhabitants of Makkah, they denied to accept the invitation of Tawheed given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, invited by our beloved Prophet Muhammad on the plea that after their death they will not be revived, and they did not used to believe in the life of hereafter. Our beloved Prophet has invited people towards the Tawheed, and our beloved Prophet has invited them, saying that if you accept the invitation of Islam, invitation of Tawheed in the life of hereafter, and after our death, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will revive us. And if you accept the invitation of Tawheed, and if you good deeds, righteous deeds, and if you restrain from doing misdeeds, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you paradise, heaven, in the life of hereafter. But they were not ready to accept this proposal. They were not ready to face any difficulties. They used to say that if there is heaven in the life of hereafter, we shall be entered in Jannah. We shall be admitted in paradise. But our beloved Prophet invited them. And as we know, during the prophetic life of our Prophet in Mecca, our beloved Prophet and his companions used to face many sufferings, many difficulties. And as we know that the inhabitants of Mecca, inhabitants of non-believers, they used to make all kinds of obstacles. They used to use their all weapons to restrain people from accepting Islam, to restrain people from taking shelter under the umbrella of Tawheed. And because of their non-cooperation of non-Muslims, the Muslims were facing many difficulties, many sufferings. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in verse number 214 of Suratul Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Am hasibtum an tadkhulul jannata walamma ya'tikum mathalul ladhina khalaw min qablikum massatuhumul ba'sa'u wad-dharra'u وزلزلوا حتى يقول الرسول والذين آمنوا معه متى نصر الله ألا إن نصر الله قريب. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told our prophets and his companions that you are facing difficulties, you are facing sufferings. But it is not new. Earlier, all the prophets, all the messengers who were entrusted to invite people towards the Tawheed, they also faced difficulties. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that you do not think that you will go to the paradise without facing any difficulties. Because earlier prophets and messengers and their communities also faced sufferings, also met sufferings, difficulties. And their difficulties, their sufferings were so hard that at one stage of their sufferings and difficulties, they cried out and said, where is the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very closer, very nearer. So, being a Muslim, we must keep belief that whenever we shall start to walk on the way of Tawheed, on the way of Qur'an, on the way of Sunnah, we shall have to face many difficulties. And whenever we shall face difficulties, sufferings, we shall have to remember that earlier prophets and messengers and their companions had also faced these types of sufferings and messengers. And next verse regarding the sufferings and difficulties faced by the earlier prophets and messengers has been narrated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in verse number 142 of Suratun Ali Imran. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Am hasibitum an tadkhulul jannata walamma ya'lamillahu alladhina jahadu minkum wa ya'lamas sabirin. That here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that you do not think that you will go to Jannah without testifying, because in order to achieve Jannah, in order to achieve success in the life of hereafter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will test you who are passed in the test of jihad. Jihad means struggle. Jihad means efforts. And who have patient whenever they are given any difficulties. So being a Muslim, we must remember that sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will test us. Sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take examination by giving upon us difficulties, sufferings. And during these difficulties and sufferings, we must believe, we must remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing us whether we are ready to have efforts for the sake of Islam, and whether we are ready to keep patience during danger, during difficulties. So, in other verses of today's tafsir, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the narration, description in the life of hereafter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in the next verses, Innal muttaqina mafaza, the Muslims who will keep belief in the life of hereafter, who will keep belief on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who will follow the rules and regulations of Islam, they will be admitted in the Jannah, in the heaven, in the paradise, in the life of hereafter. And here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, Innal muttaqina mafaza, and the believers will be succeeded in the life of hereafter. And they will be admitted in Jannah, in paradise, in heaven. And there they will get all kinds of reward they want. They will get everything, whatever will be wished by them. And in other verses of today's tafsir, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has narrated the things, those which will be given us if we are fortunate and if we have been admitted in Jannah. And in today's tafsir, verse number 25 of Suratul Baqarah is relevant in today's tafsir. Here Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَبَشِّرِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ أَنَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ كُلَّمَا رُزِقُوا مِنْهَا مِنْ ثَمَرَةٍ رِزْقًا قَالُوا هَذَا الَّذِي رُزِقْنَا من قبل وأتوا به متشابها ولهم فيها أزواج مطهرة وهم فيها خالدون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, O Prophet, give the good news to the believers and who have done good things, good deeds in the life of here, that they will be admitted in Jannat. They will be admitted in heaven, in paradise, and under which rivers are being flown, and they will be given fruits to eat. And whenever the believers, after admitting in Jannah, they will be given fruits as they are to eat. They will say that earlier we ate such types of food, such types of fruits. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that in Jannah they will get their spouse, they will get their companions, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that they will remain in the heaven forever. If we the Muslims are admitted in Jannah, in the life of hereafter, after entering in heaven, in paradise, there will be no death, because in the life of hereafter, when life will be started, there will be no end. The endless life we shall be able to enjoy if we have been entered in the Jannah. And if the non-believers, if a person died without accepting the proposed invitation of Tawheed, they will be thrown in the hell, they will be thrown in the fire, and they will remain in fire forever, and they will also not meet death. There will be no death in the life of hereafter. So these were the relevant verses in today's tafsir, and now inshallah we shall go to some relevant hadiths of our beloved Prophet. Those are relevant in today's tafsir. An Jabir ibn Abdullah radhiyallahu anhu qala sami'tu Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam yaqul man laqiya Allah la yushriku bihi shay'an dakhala al-jannah wa man laqiyahu yushriku bihi dakhala an-nar. Rawahu Muslim. Hadith number 136. This hadith has been narrated by famous companion Hazrat Jabir ibn Abdullah radhiyallahu anhu. He said that I have heard from our beloved Prophet saying that whoever will die without associating partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will enter in the Jannah, will enter in the heaven. And whoever will die after associating, whoever will die without associating partner, man laqiya Allah yashruk bihi shay'an dakhala al-jannah. Whoever will die, whoever will meet death without associating partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means if a mu'min, Muslim, dies having belief of Tawheed, he will enter in the Jannah. And وَمَنْ لَقِيَهُ يُشْرِكُ بِهِ دَخَلَ النَّارِ. And whoever will die by associating partner, by making partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that means whoever will die as non-believers will enter in the fire, will be thrown in the fire. So first criteria, first precondition to enter in Jannah, in paradise, in heaven, is to bring faith on oneness of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If a person dies without making any partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he must enter in the Jannah. That is Rawahu Muslim 130, hadith number 136. Next relevant hadith in today's tafsir is An Muazin radhiyallahu anhu qala kuntu ridfan Nabiy sallallahu alayhi wasallam ala himarin yuqalu lahu Ufairun faqala ya Muazu hal tadri ma haqqullahi ta'ala ala ibadihi wa ma haqqul ibadi ala Allahi. Qultu Allahu wa rasuluhu a'lamu. Qal fa inna haqqallahi 'alal 'ibadi ay ya'buduhu wa la yushriku bihi shay'an wa haqqul 'ibadi 'ala Allahi an la yu'azzibu man la yushriku bihi shay'an. Faqultu ya Rasulullah afala ubashshir bihin nas. قال لا تبشرهم فيتكلوا رواه البخاري. Hadith number 2644. This hadith has been narrated by Muaz radhiyallahu anhu. He said, I was traveling with our beloved Prophet on a donkey, on an ass. The name of the donkey is Ufairun. And while I was traveling with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the back of donkey, on the ass, our beloved Prophet asked me, O Muaz, do you know what is the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon his servant? And what is the right of servant upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The famous companion Muaz said, Allah and his messengers knows well. Then our beloved Prophet has said that the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that his servant, the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon his servant is that his servant will not associate any partner with him. And the right of servant upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not punish his servant if he does not make any partner with him. And then then the famous companion Muaz said, whether I shall tell this good news to the people? Our beloved Prophet said, no. If you say, tell this good news to the people will not make ibadat. The people will rely only on this, and they will live to offer worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means from this hadith we find that it is the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us that we shall not make any partner, we shall not make any associate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we do not make any associate, any partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not punish us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will admit us in Jannah. Next hadith in today's tafsir is An Imran ibn Husayn radhiyallahu anhu Ani Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam qala utla'tu fil jannah fara'aitu aksara ahliha al-fuqara wa tula'tu fin nar fara'aitu aksara ahliha an-nisa. Rawahul Bukhari, hadith number 2002. Hadith is very important to us. As we know, this is the month of Rajab, we know. On the 27th, 9th of this month, our beloved Prophet was taken in the sky by Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And our beloved Prophet physically went to the sky and visited heavens and hell physically. And our beloved Prophet has said that when I saw the heaven, I found most of the members of heavens are poor person, needy person. And when I saw the hell, I found most of the members of hell are ladies, female. Rawahul Bukhari. That means whenever our beloved Prophet visited the heaven, he found most of the poor persons, needy persons, they are in the Jannah. And when our beloved Prophet visited hell, the Jahannam, found that most of the members of Jahannam, hell are female, ladies. Rawahul Bukhari, hadith number 2002. An Abi Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu, an Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam qala man yadkhulul jannata yan'amu la yab'asu la tabla siyabahu wa la yafna shababahu. Rawahu Muslim, hadith number 5068. This hadith has been narrated by Hazrat Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu. He said that whenever one will be admitted in the Jannah, he will not be dissatisfied. Whatever he will want, he will found. He will get it. His dresses will never become old. And he will be entered in Jannah as a young man, youth. And his youth will never come to an end. Rawahu Muslim, 5068. Next hadith in today's relevant hadith in today's tafsir is an Aisha radhiyallahu anha qalat qultu ya Rasulullah ibn Jud'an kana fil jahiliyati yasilur rahimi wa yatimul miskin fahal zalika nafi'uhu qala la yanfa'uhu. Rawahu Muslim, hadith number 411. Rawahu Muslim, hadith number 411. This hadith has been narrated by our beloved, by wife of our beloved Prophet, Mother Aisha radhiyallahu anha. She said, I asked our Prophet, Ibn Judan, who died during the age of darkness. But although he died during the age of darkness, he used to do two good things. He used to keep good relations with his relatives, and he used to feed the poor person, needy person. Whether these two good things will make him any benefit? Our beloved Prophet said no. Rawahu Muslim, 411 hadith number. That means if a non-Muslim, if a kafir, if a member if a man who is Christian, who is Jews, who is Hindu, who is Buddhist, if he does a lot of good things, but he dies without accepting Islam, these good things without accepting Islam will not make him any benefit in the life of hereafter. Next, last hadith in today's tafsir is an Umar radhiyallahu anhu قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يا ابن الخطاب اذهب فنادي في الناس أنه لا يدخل الجنة إلا المؤمنون. Rawahu Muslim, hadith number 309. This hadith has been narrated by famous companion, second Caliph, second Khalifa, Hazrat Umar Farooq radhiyallahu anhu. He said that our beloved Prophet has told me, Ya Ibn al-Khattab, go, izhab, go, fanadi fin nas, and inform the people, annahu la yadkhulul jannata illa al-mu'minun. Inform the people that only the believers will enter in the Jannah. Only the believers will enter in paradise, in heaven. So these were the tafsir and verse number 28 to 36 of Suratun Naba. So may Almighty Allah gives us capability to understand the meanings and explanations of Qur'an and to follow the rules and regulations of Qur'an in our personal life, family life, social life, as well as in our state life. Now inshallah we shall have prayer to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and before prayer inshallah let us recite Durood Sharif. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم آمين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. اللهم اغفر لحينا وميتنا وشاهدنا وغائبنا وصغيرنا وكبيرنا وذكرنا وأنثانا. اللهم من أحييته منا فأحيه على الإسلام ومن توفيته منا فتوفه على الإيمان. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. رب هب لي من الصالحين. رب زدني علما. أستغفر الله. اللهم إني أسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. والله, we some of your servants have been gathered here in this Tafsirul Quran Mahfil, and we have discussed from your last book, from your last Asmani Kitab, the Holy Qur'an, and we have made many mistakes. And I have referred some hadiths of your beloved Prophet. We have made many mistakes in recitations of Quran and hadith. Please forgive our all mistakes and accept this Tafsirul Quran Mahfil. O Allah, make this Tafsirul Quran Mahfil as the media of entering in the life in Jannah, in the life of hereafter. O Allah, forgive our all sins. O Allah, enter us in heaven without taking any account, without asking us any question. O Allah, forgive our parents, fathers, mothers, forefathers, grandfathers, maternal uncles, our father-in-law, mother-in-law, all our relatives who died. Forgive all of them and decide Jannatul Firdaus for them. O Allah, we have raised our hand. Please fulfill our all good desires of our heart. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.